The Premier League returns this weekend with one of its most fiercely anticipated fixtures, the North London derby. Arsenal versus Tottenham, a rivalry steeped in emotion, history, controversy, and unforgettable moments. And once again it arrives at a pivotal moment in the season. Arsenal enter the contest sitting 4 points clear at the top of the table, unbeaten in their last 14 matches. Mikel Arteta's side have been confident, disciplined, and ruthless. But derbies rarely follow the script, and this edition comes with a unique twist. It will be Thomas Frank's first competitive North London derby as Tottenham manager. The two clubs met in pre-season, where Spurs claimed a victory that raised eyebrows. But Sunday's clash at the Emirates is an entirely different environment, with completely different stakes. As strong as Arsenal have been, Arteta's biggest challenge heading into the derby isn't tactical, it's physical. The international break brought with it a series of unwanted complications, with both Gabriel Magalhaes and Riccardo Calafiori returning early from national team duty due to injuries. Both remain major doubts and face a race against time to be fit. And in a derby where defensive battles often decide the rhythm and momentum of the contest, their absence would be significant. Arsenal have not lost to Spurs in their last 6 official meetings, but missing 2 key defenders in a system reliant on stability and aggressive pressing could dramatically alter the landscape on Sunday. Former Arsenal defender Martin Keown believes Tottenham pose a far greater threat than many are acknowledging. Speaking to the Metro, Keown highlighted what he considers Spurs' biggest advantage heading into the derby, their away form. While Spurs have struggled at home, winning just 1 of their 5 matches, they have been a completely different team on the road, winning 4 of 5 away fixtures. Under Thomas Frank, their away performances have been measured, disciplined, and tactically mature. Keown said, "Spurs away form concerns me this weekend. Spurs at home and Spurs away, it's like 2 different entities. Their manager's very good at slowing things down, quietening the crowd, and the keeper puts his foot on the ball. They do it extremely well. The believes Frank's approach will be designed to frustrate the Emirates crowd, disrupt Arsenal's rhythm, and create anxiety inside the stadium." His advice for Arteta: press high, dominate early, set the tone before Spurs can suffocate the atmosphere. Because in this derby, emotions on and off the pitch often dictate much of the play. The Premier League has confirmed that Michael Oliver will referee Sunday's clash, a decision that has not gone unnoticed among Arsenal supporters. Oliver will be joined by Stuart Burt and James Mainwaring on the lines, with Michael Salisbury as 4th official. Stuart Atwell will lead VAR, supported by Konstantin Hatzidakis. But it's Oliver's past with Arsenal that stirs unease. 2 major incidents last season left a deep sense of frustration within the Arsenal fan base. The first came in September 2024, when Oliver controversially sent off Leandro Trossard for kicking the ball away just 1.07 seconds after the whistle. The decision, interpreted as delaying the restart, sparked fury among the Arsenal players and coaching staff. Despite Arsenal's unbeaten run, despite Tottenham's inconsistencies, despite the injuries, despite the narrative, nothing can be taken for granted. This fixture has never adhered to form. It has seen late goals, red cards, controversy, chaos and heroes emerging from unlikely places. Arsenal know that anything short of intensity will invite Spurs into the game. Tottenham know that a win at the Emirates could redefine their season. The Emirates knows it is in store for a derby that promises fire, tension, and drama from the very first whistle. Both sides have reasons to believe. Both sides have vulnerabilities. And both sides understand exactly what this match means. Tottenham Hotspur's season has taken yet another dramatic twist, and this time the spotlight falls firmly on 2 very different forwards, whose stories somehow intertwine with the club's current journey, the present, the past, and perhaps even the future of Spurs' attacking identity. For Mathys Tel, the last few months have been nothing short of turbulent. Signed permanently from Bayern Munich in the summer window, the French forward arrived with a reputation for potential, explosiveness, and long-term promise. But just weeks into his Spurs career, Tel found himself omitted from the club's Champions League squad, a decision many around Hotspur Way privately described as strategic. But for the 20-year-old, it undeniably stung. Even so, Tel has responded with maturity. He has already delivered 2 Premier League goals, including a crucial strike against Manchester United, a moment that briefly eased the pressure surrounding Tottenham's inconsistent early season form. And now, with Randall Kolo Muani injured, Dominic Solanke sidelined, and Richarlison struggling to make meaningful impact, Tell's playing time is set to increase significantly. It. Despite that opportunity, Italian media have other ideas. Gazzetta dello Sport report today that AS Roma manager Gian Piero Gasperini is pushing hard for Tell's signature, placing him top of his January shortlist. According to their claims, Tell is unhappy in London and open to leaving Spurs as early as the winter window. Roma's belief is that a loan move could be negotiated, largely because Tottenham paid €35 million for him just months ago, and reportedly have no interest in selling. Italian optimism, of course, is rarely in short supply. The narrative that Tell's limited minutes automatically equal unhappiness is convenient for Serie A clubs, but the situation in North London suggests otherwise. With Kolo Muani and Solanke sidelined, and Richarlison not offering the goal threat Spurs require, Tottenham simply cannot afford to part ways with Tell at a time when every forward option is critical. If anything, the door is wide open for the youngster to stake his claim. Still, the rumour persists and Roma's admiration is genuine. Gasperini sees Tell as a high-ceiling talent, someone malleable, raw and capable of thriving within an attack that needs new energy. But while Tell is only beginning his Spurs journey, one former Tottenham striker is writing a story of his own and doing so on the international stage. Few Tottenham Academy graduates have lived through a journey as winding as Troy Parrott's. For years, he was the great hope of Spurs' youth system, a gloriously talented striker with a left foot full of promise, but burdened by expectations he could not yet meet. 5 loans, 4 senior appearances, and constant comparisons to Harry Kane meant Parrott's development never quite settled during his time in North London. His final spell, a standout loan with Excelsior, finally reminded observers of his potential. It earned him a permanent move to AZ Alkmaar in 2024, a transfer valued at £6.7 million, with Spurs wisely inserting a 20% sell-on clause. But little could have prepared anyone for what came next. At 23, Parrott has exploded. In the space of 2 matches for the Republic of Ireland, he scored 5 goals, including a dramatic hat-trick against Hungary, sealed with a 96th minute winner that sent Ireland into the World Cup playoffs. In that moment, Parrott broke down in tears, admitting he hadn't cried for years. "This is why we love football. I don't think I'll ever have a better night in my whole life," he said. Overwhelmed by the emotion of the moment, it has been nothing short of a fairy tale. 20 goals for AZ last season, 13 in 14 this season, and now the talisman of his country. Tottenham fans, while watching from afar, cannot help but feel a connection. Parrott's story began in North London. His spark was nurtured at Hotspur Way, and although he never broke into the first team, Spurs will still benefit financially when the inevitable big move comes. There is no buyback clause, but the club is watching, proudly. Even Ange Postecoglou, before leaving Spurs, said of Parrott, "Sometimes in football it's about timing. There's a pathway for everybody." It turns out Parrott's pathway simply ran through the Netherlands and into Irish football folklore. Tell the present, Parrott the past, and a Tottenham team caught in the middle, balancing ambition with realism in a season riddled with injuries, transition, and the relentless pressure to deliver goals. Spurs' attack is currently stretched thin. They cannot afford to lose Tell, and they cannot ignore Parrott's rise. Roma believe Tell is gettable, Tottenham believe he is essential, and Parrott from afar is proving what belief and opportunity can unlock. In many ways, the stories of both players reflect the exact crossroads Tottenham face as a football club. Young talent, enormous potential, and the constant question of whether Spurs can nurture these players long enough to see them flourish in a white shirt, or whether their finest chapters will be written elsewhere. For now, Matthijs Tell's future remains in North London, not Rome, and Troy Parrott's rebirth continues in Alkmaar, not Tottenham. But in football, pathways cross again more often than anyone expects. What's certain is this: Spurs are watching, fans are watching, And the story is far from over. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up because the build-up to this weekend's North London derby is already heating up. Michael Oliver has officially been confirmed as the referee for Sunday's huge clash between Arsenal and Tottenham at the Emirates. This'll be Oliver's 8th North London derby, and the last time he took charge, Arsenal stormed into a 3-0 lead before surviving a late Spurs comeback to win 3-2. But the appointment comes with controversy. Our Arsenal fans haven't forgotten several incidents. The Miles Lewis Skelly red card against Wolves that was overturned, Leandro Trossard's dismissal versus Man City, and the double yellow for Martinelli in the same passage of play back in 2022. Oliver even received abuse and threats after that Wolves match, something strongly condemned by the Premier League and PGMOL. Meanwhile, Stuart Atwell will sit on VAR duty for Sunday, and Michael Salisbury is the 4th official. Thomas Frank prepares for his first ever North London derby, but Spurs arrive under pressure. Fans booed loudly after their poor performance against Chelsea, a match where Tottenham managed just one shot on target. A viral clip caused more drama when Mickey van der Ven and Jed Spence walked straight down the tunnel instead of applauding fans. Frank downplayed it, saying the players were simply frustrated, but England boss Thomas Tuchel was not impressed. He warned van der Ven that national team players must show professionalism on and off the pitch. Tuchel also addressed Jude Bellingham's reaction after being subbed off in the 84th minute against Albania. The midfielder looked unhappy, prompting criticism. Tuchel responded, "Behaviour is key. You accept tough decisions, that's the image we want." Despite that, England made history 8 qualifiers, 8 wins, 0 goals conceded, and 22 scored. Harry Kane added a brace, taking him to 78 international goals, passing Brazil legend Pelé. Despite topping the Premier League and winning all 4 Champions League matches, Arsenal are ready to listen to offers for several big names this January. According to reports, Gabriel Martinelli could be sold if a big bid arrives, with Saudi clubs lurking. Gabriel Jesus may also be moved on as he struggles for minutes behind Havertz and Gyökeres. Ethan Nwaneri could leave on loan for more playing time. Ben White is also available for the right offer. However, Miles Lewis Skelly is not leaving. Despite losing his place to Calafiori and dropping out of England's squad, Arsenal want to keep the 19-year-old, especially after Calafiori returned with a minor injury. So with referee controversy, Spurs unrest, Arsenal transfer shocks, and England writing new history, this weekend's North London derby is shaping up to be absolutely explosive. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know. Who takes the derby, Arsenal or Spurs?